Here are the other individuals in this particular series.
Yes, whatever the heck.
Work our way down to another edition.
AJ Styles, which I really enjoy.
The Young Bucks. And you have the Bomb Squad 4 live.
Alright, we're in the top row of the second tall bookcase.
What is going on, the Bomb Squad? This is Don the Bomb and... What the... Cat? I have a visitor in my review. And we don't do any edits here. No edits. Guy the Cat is here. He's here to sabotage my wrestling figure unboxing and review. Hey there, Guy. How you doing? Guy probably wants some treats. Dude is obsessed with those, what are they called over there? Temptations chicken flavored treats. Maybe he's going to be my co-host for this wrestling figure review. He's giving it a good old rub down. You like the edge of that box there, Guy? Anyway, what I have to unbox today is the Boss Fight Studios Legends of Lucha Libre. This would be our buddy... I wanted to get it right because I know him as Perro Aguago Jr., but they have him as Hijo del Pedro Aguayo. So, and he was in that Perros del Mal faction in Mexico. And unfortunately, I really haven't heard of him before until 2015, where he was involved in a tragic in-ring accident in Mexico, in Tijuana, where Rey Mysterio was giving him the 619, drop-kicked him in the back of the neck. He went limp into the ropes and then, unfortunately, died in the ring. I'm pretty sure he died in the ring. And it was a tragic, unfortunate incident. This figure probably is about 2 years old, and it's from their basic line, which runs about $20. They also have a series that's kind of like the Elite, which is about, $35. Guy Kitty is really liking this box. Hey, he bailed on me. So he screws up the beginning, and then he takes off without even assisting me in this unboxing. Regardless. Anyway, it's unfortunate what happened to Perro Aguayo Jr. He is the real-life son of the legendary Pedro Aguayo from Mexico. So there he is. And the back here are all the other wrestlers that were in this particular series. Like I said, it's about 2 years old now. And this was the last one that I had to pick up. Got it off good old eBay for about 16 bucks. But there's a nice photo right here. And then the figure right there. Ultimo Dragon and Black Taurus and Vampiro. Have all three of those, and they're pretty good figures. Anyway, one bad thing about the Legend of Lucha Libre line, it's kind of like went on a snail's standstill for the last year or so, where they've only released, I think, one line in the last year. And they announced, I believe it was their deluxe series. It was not Taurus. It was Dragon Lee, his brother Roosh, and oh my god, a masked guy. I can't really remember. One guy, I think that's in AEW now. And that'll probably come out at the end of this year. But they need to pump more of these series. I really love this line. I love this company. I love to put these with my WWE, Mattel, and Jazzwares AEW figures. Anyway, let's get them open, okay? Good box art. Let's let him breathe out of his plastic prison, as my YouTube friend Kyle Peterson says. Since this is from their basic line, there's no accessories. We have limited articulation. But there he is, on the late Perro Aguayo Jr. There's his pretty good face sculpt and scan there. Not too bad, not too bad. Kind of a, I don't know if it's quite the best skin tone. I think he's a little too light. He was a darker guy. But there he is, there he is. Let's go through articulation. You have the, these are little, I don't want to break these, single jointed elbows. There's no bicep cut, but we do have the shoulder articulation. No ab crunch, but the waist goes all the way around. Head goes all the way around as if he was in an exorcism. You have your single jointed pinned knees. It looks like, they're really stiff, and I'm going to have to heat these up to be able to move the joints, the elbows and the knees. But I'd rather the figure joints be too stiff than too loose. For all you guys out there, have your head in the in the dirt. Whatever, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It is better to be stiff than not stiff. Anyway, whatever, I digress. He has this nice little plastic Perro del Mal shirt that is attached to his waist. You cannot remove this unless you remove his torso, and I wouldn't recommend that. And he's on I believe, a ball joint type contraption for his waist, so he can do all kinds of little bit of the ab crunch like that, which is pretty good, pretty good. Go back like that. And you have your standard black trunks. Yeah, no artwork on there, no artwork at all on the kick pads or boots or whatever, the knee pads, so not bad, not bad. I'll bring in some figure comparisons real quick. AEW Jazz wears, very nice, very evil, Danhausen. Danhausen is a little bit taller, but the Legend of Lucha Libre line, especially when it first started about 4 or 5 years ago, they were scaled a little shorter than the other wrestling company figures out there, but they have kind of brought them up a little bit. A lot of people were complaining that they really couldn't display them with their, AEW and WWE figures. And then here is another Legends of Lucha Libre figure. This is from their deluxe type series, and this is Conan back when he was probably in the mid-90s. And unfortunately, Conan was one of the individuals that was there that fateful night of his passing. He was actually, after Perro Aguago was like knocked, in the ropes, he was kind of like slapping him around trying to get him to come to, and that probably wasn't good for his neck, and that was one of the, I think he was already passed away at that time, and he is a little taller than Conan here, but yeah, Conan didn't know what had happened and, was trying to revive him, but it probably made things worse if he wasn't, already deceased by that time. And then last but not least, WWE Mattel Elite Rey Mysterio, who is unfortunately the man who had the dubious distinction of making the drop kick to the back of the, shoulders and neck area, which unfortunately caused his passing. I don't know if that's in best taste to do a figure comparison, but, he's taller than Rey, which is definitely true to life, so there you go. Perro Aguayo Jr. from the Boss Fight Studios Legends of Lucha Libre line. If I had to rate this figure, I'd give him it's basic, not many bells and whistles or accessories. I give him a solid 7 out of 10. Not too bad. For the money, anyway. So, Da Bomb Squad, if you're not already a member of Da Bomb Squad, what are you waiting for? What are you doing? Subscribe for more quality videos from your boy, Don Da Bomb. And remember these words before I go. And that is, all that glitter is not gold. For the late Perro Aguayo Jr., this is Don Da Bomb. Have a good one, everybody.